For the last 2 years, $20 a month has brought you something that, if you really stop and think about it, almost makes no sense. You get a chatbot that can write code, plan your week, build a business plan, edit your video script, answer almost any question you can ask, and it feels like a steal. And that is essentially the problem. Every sign right now is pointing to the same conclusion. The price you pay for AI is about to go up. There's going to be a price shock, and that might be a lot. Now, the story is not just about one company tweaking the plan, it is about the entire AI industry quietly running out of room to keep selling you the future at a discount. The cheap years are ending, and the people running these labs are starting to say it out loud. Now, we have to think about what we actually have. Start with the $20 a month that unlocks today. On ChatGPT Plus, you get the strongest models, image generation, file uploads, web browsing, and well, over 1,000 messages a day if you want them. One write-up estimated that if you just save 3 hours a week using it, you're getting around $7,000 to $800 of productivity back for a $240 a year subscription. That is like a 32-to-1 return on a single tool. Now, what's crazy about all of this is that sounds like a compliment to the AI labs, but it's kind of a little bit of a warning to the rest of us. When a smart industry watcher says there's room to triple your bill, the bill eventually goes up. And when you look at the people running these companies, they're not exactly hiding the plan. So Nick Turley, the head of ChatGPT, has openly said that the $20 price was not based on careful research. The team actually ran a quick survey on their own Discord to pick a number, and $20 a month just stuck. They basically said, OpenAI basically said here, the price is something that they stumbled into. And a price that was stumbled into is a price that can be moved. And every single right now says that the AI labs are getting ready to move it. Take a look at this clip here.
So what I did do is ship a Google form to Discord with I think the 4 questions you're supposed to ask on how to price something.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it literally had those 4 questions. And I remember distinctly, A, I got a price back. And that's kind of how we got to $20. But B, the next morning there was a press article on you won't believe the 4 genius questions the ChatGPT team asked to price their, it was if only you knew. So there's something about building in this extreme public where people interpret so much more intentionality into what you're doing than, might have actually existed at the time. But we got with the 20, we were debating, something slightly higher at the time. I often wonder what would have happened because so many other companies ended up copying the $20 price point. So I'm did we erase a bunch of market cap by pricing it this way? But ultimately, I don't care because the more accessible we can make this stuff, the better. And I think this is the price point that in Western countries has been reasonable to a lot of people in terms of the value that they get back. And most importantly, we're able to push things down to the free tier semi-regularly. And we always do that when we can, including with GPT-5.
Now, the reason $20 feels like such a steal is, of course, because it is. Right now, your subscription, if you hadn't realized, it's being subsidized. The AI labs are not really making money on you. In a lot of cases, they are losing money on you, and they are making up the difference with investor cash. The cheap chatbot that you use every day is being paid for by venture capital, sovereign wealth funds, and giant corporate partners. Now, this isn't just a guess from random bloggers. Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, said it himself when they launched the $200 a month pro plan. He wrote, and this is a direct quote, which you can see, "It is an insane situation. We are currently losing money on OpenAI Pro subscriptions. People use it so much more than we expected." And he even said that personally, he picked the $200 price and thought it would be profitable, but it was not. Now, you have to think about that for a second. The top plan, the one that costs $200 per month, is losing OpenAI money. That $20 plan, that almost everyone you know is certainly not paying its own way, especially for power users. OpenAI as a whole is expected to lose around $14 billion in 2026 alone, and is not projected to be profitable until around 2030. To stay open, it has committed to over $1.4 trillion in data center and infrastructure spending in the coming years. So every time you ask ChatGPT to write an email, somewhere in the background, a giant pile of investor money is helping pay for it. Now, that only works as long as those investors stay patient. The moment they want their money back, the price you pay has to change. Now, this is where the story starts to feel familiar. So I'm pretty sure you all remember this. Years ago, Uber rides were cheap, way cheaper than a taxi, and that was on purpose. Uber lost billions of dollars getting people used to downloading an app instead of waiving a cab. And once everyone was hooked, the prices climbed. Surge pricing showed up, subscription showed up, pool rides disappeared, the cheap rides quietly slipped away. AI is running the same playbook. get people addicted at a loss, then raise the price once the habit is locked in. You can already feel this happening if you read the Reddit threads where regular users compare notes. People are pointing out that AI tools pulled them in with heavily discounted pricing, backed by venture capital money, and now those same companies are quietly trimming plans, lowering limits, and dressing up the price hikes as upgrades. And tech writer Alex puts it plainly in a post that has been bouncing around X and LinkedIn. He said that the companies making these models are creating way more value than they're charging for, and there is room to double or even triple the rates that we pay.
There's one that I really like. It's from, the username is Gout. Here's the caption. He's become fully reliant on LLMs to code, now increased the price by 1,000%. And I think this meme plays perfectly into what we were just talking, where I'm getting the value of a couple $100 a month thumbnail guy for $20.
Yeah.
On ChatGPT right now. The saying is, your margin is my opportunity.
Yeah.
Clearly, the price is to do anything with AI. We, the users, are getting a tremendous amount of value.
Incredible.
But these companies eventually are going to see that value gap, and they're investing trillions of dollars. They're going to raise the prices in a big way, don't you think?
And you know what's crazy about this? I actually recently saw that currently the prices of AI is so high that it's actually costing more than humans. Take a look at this clip from CNN.
I spoke with a VP at NVIDIA who first flagged this to me. He said, oh yeah, for months, our costs for my team have been more for AI than humans. So that was the first flag. And then we started to hear this coming out in droves. Uber's CTO said he already blew out his whole budget for 2026 just on AI related costs. And obviously that means he's spending more on that than he's spending on human workers. And now I'm starting to hear, especially from startup founders, they're bragging about their AI bills being high because kind of
And so the next pressure point for these companies is the stock market. OpenAI and Anthropic are both lining up to go public. Reports say that OpenAI is laying the groundwork for a public listing as soon as late 2026. Anthropic is also preparing its own listing, and the prediction markets currently give Anthropic about an 80% chance of going public first. Now, the reason this matters is simple. Public investors are not as patient as private ones. Private investors like SoftBank will let you burn billions chasing a vision, and a public investor wants to see a path to profit, and they want to see that on the quarterly earnings call. And that means that the closer these labs get to going public, the more pressure they are under to stop losing money on each user. And the easiest way to lose less money on each user is to charge that user more. One viral X post has broken the math down. OpenAI is targeting an IPO at roughly $1 trillion valuation, while roughly losing $14 billion this year. Anthropic is reportedly preparing what could be a $900 billion private round before going public. Together with xAI, these three companies could pull $200 billion from global capital markets. That is real, unprecedented money. And the only way that makes sense is if the labs can show on paper that the price you pay is going up, while the cost to serve you is going down. Investor pressure is not a vague thing. It is a calendar. It shows up on the filing dates and earning days, and it always lands on the customers in the end. Now, then there's xAI. Elon Musk's AI company is burning through about $1 billion every single month, okay? Bloomberg reported that the company is on pace to spend roughly $13 billion in 2025, while only bringing in about $500 million in revenue. Now, that is not a small gap. That is a company spending more than $20 for every $1 it earns. To plug that hole, xAI has raised about $34 billion in a mix of private equity and debt, including a $20 billion round in October 2025 that valued that company at the time when it was separate at $200 billion. Now, no business survives that math forever. xAI says it's aiming for profitability by 2027, but getting there means one of two things need to happen. Either the cost of running these AI models has to drop fast, or the price users pay has to climb fast. In reality, both will have to happen. And xAI is not alone. OpenAI, Anthropic, and every smaller AI lab are running some version of the same equation. They need users to pay more, and they need the cost per query to come down at the same time. Now, take a look at this, okay? I saw this post on Reddit that most people hadn't seen yet, but Google seems to already be moving. Some users have noticed on Gemini in May that the usage limits on the Gemini 3.1 Pro model were quietly slashed. The base plan dropped from 3 uses to 2, the mid-tier dropped from 30 to 4, and the mid-tier was pulled back too. And at the same time, Google added new ultra plans at higher prices. Now, Google framed this as a reorganization of plans, but the effect on the users is the same. You get fewer top model messages unless you pay more, and that is what a stealth price hike looks like. The number on the page stays the same, the amount of value you actually get for that number shrinks, the price per useful query goes up, and the marketing makes it all sound like an upgrade. Now, this matters because Google has the most cushion in the entire industry. Google owns its own data centers, designs its own AI chip, and they print cash from search. So if Google is going to be the one pulling back from free usage, that kind of tells you about the math that maybe it's a little bit tight, and everywhere else it could be tight too. Now, this isn't just users complaining online. Now, the thing about this is that this isn't just users complaining about this online. The strain is now showing up at the very top of major companies. Uber's chief operating officer, Andrew McDonald, recently said that it was getting harder and harder to justify the money the company is spending on AI tokens. And it gets worse. Reports say that Uber blew through its entire 2026 AI budget by April because individual engineers were racking up API bills as high as $2,000 per month each. An engineering workflow that looks like a normal software tool is silently making thousands of API calls a day, turning what used to be a flat license into one giant utility bill. And Uber is not alone. Microsoft, a company that has basically infinite cloud compute, ran a pilot of Anthropic's Claude Code across its experiences and devices team. The team burned through the division's entire annual AI budget in just a few months. Microsoft is shutting that program down on June 30th. When the world's biggest enterprise customers are openly saying that the math on AI usage is too tight, the labs are stuck. They cannot keep raising prices on enterprise without losing those customers, which means more of the price increase has to fall on regular users. People like you, people paying $20 a month, who do not have a procurement department to push back. And here you can see Amazon actually recently scrapped their AI leaderboard to stop workers chasing usage scores. You can see that this article talks about the fact that AI labs such as Anthropic have recently shifted to a consumption-based pricing model away from flat monthly fees in a move that significantly increased the cost of some customers, and Amazon uses Anthropic's AI models extensively. And you can see here that Amazon has actually tried to change and started to use a metric called normalized deployments, evidence of engineers regularly using AI to create useful code to measure the success of its AI tools and adoption of the technology rather than just outright token consumption. And so this is also another example of this in practice. So here you can see someone on Reddit says that bye-bye Copilot, the new pricing looks to be a joke. So you can see that vendors are essentially like, GitHub Copilot are switching to AI credits where every token in and out is metered plus agent/workflows that chew a lot of context. So previously, you could just have your subscription and use it as much as you wanted, but now they're switching to usage-based tokens. So if you actually go on the GitHub website, it says instead of counting premium requests, every Copilot plan will include a monthly allotment of GitHub AI credits, with the option for paid plans to purchase additional usage. Usage will be calculated based on the token consumption, including input, output, and cache tokens, using the listed API rates for each model. And it says this change aligns GitHub Copilot pricing with the actual usage and is an important step towards a sustainable, reliable Copilot business and experience for all users. To help customers prepare, we're also launching a preview bill experience in early May, giving them visibility into the projected cost before the June 1 transition. And so this is what you can see in the screenshot here. Here you can see that their current billing was $28, but if they actually had the usage-based billing on, it would have been $700, just showing you how much value you're getting from those cheap subscriptions and how much that price hike is going to be. And you can see it says here, Copilot is not the same product it was a year ago. It has evolved to be an agentic platform, and since agentic is becoming the default, it brings significantly higher compute and inference demands. And today, a quick chat session and a multi-hour autonomous coding session can cost the user the same amount. And GitHub has absorbed much of the escalating inference costs behind that usage, but the current premium request model is no longer sustainable. Now, to top all of this off, guys, the last piece of this story is happening in Washington. March, the Senator Bernie Sanders and Representative Alexandria Cortez introduced the AI Data Center Moratorium Act. And that bill would put a federal pause on building new AI data centers until proper safety, environment, worker, and civil rights are put in place. Now, even if that bill never becomes law, state and policymakers are also looking at temporary pauses on new AI data center construction, and communities are pushing back as electricity bills climb and local water gets used to cool the racks. Now, this matters, okay? Because AI runs on compute and the compute runs on the data centers. And if new data centers get blocked or slowed down, the total supply of compute in the world stops growing as fast as the demand is growing. And when supply is squeezed and demand keeps climbing, the price has to move. And that price flows straight back into the per token cost the labs will charge. And from there, it's straight into your monthly bill. A small slowdown in data center construction can easily translate into a much bigger jump in what AI subscriptions cost for the average person. And I found this Substack from Josh Bershin where he says there's no reason to think that this tech is getting cheaper. It's quite the opposite. And this price increase may just change everything. You can see he talks about in this article there are many different things about why the price is going up, most of the things I've discussed in this video, but he answers 3 key questions here. Will the job elimination from AI rationalize itself? I think so. We won't be buying millions of dollars or Claude or Copilot if the cost is higher than doing it by hand. So we're all going to get a little bit more discriminating about where we focus our AI investments. I keep reading about Block eliminating engineers and managers, Meta creating a 50-to-1 span of control, but what if these low productivity emotional humans are cheaper? And will AI replace other things? Yes, it will. But at the same time, AI is going to have to become more strategic. The idea of giving everyone Claude might just stop, like the idea of just giving everyone a PC didn't happen fast. So the widespread adoption before value might slow down, and he already sees that happening. Now, of course, we cannot discuss this without the open source. Now, you might be thinking, okay, if these labs are going to charge so much, well, open source is going to win. The free models are getting really good. And on paper, the cost per token is way cheaper than what OpenAI or Anthropic charge. And in some studies, what's actually true is that open models cost about 87% less per token than closed ones. So why do closed models still take almost 80% of token usage and almost 90% of total revenue on platforms that let you pick? Because it's actually a quiet trap. Open models are cheap per token, but they need a lot more tokens to do the same job. So a study from News Research found that open weight models use 1.5 to 4 times more tokens than closed models to solve the same problem, and up to 10 times more for simple knowledge questions. Open reasoning models in particular will sit there spending hundreds of tokens to answer a question that could be answered in a single word. This is the open source paradox. Cheap tokens, expensive thinking. The base model is free, the reasoning is not. And the new wave of AI products is almost entirely built on reasoning. Agents that browse, plan, code, and act all chew through long chains of thought, and each step is a token. So even as the price of a single token keeps falling, the total cost of actually getting a useful answer keeps creeping up. The reasoning era is more expensive than the chat era, and that's the part that most people forget. Now, to be fair, there is a real force pushing the price in the other direction. The cost of running an AI model at any given quality level is dropping. Venture firm Andreessen Horowitz coined the term LLMflation to describe it. For an AI of equivalent quality, the price of inference is dropping by roughly 10 times each year. Research firm Epoch AI puts the median decline even steeper, with the cost running inference at fixed quality level halving every 2 months. Now, that sounds like the prices should be crashing, not climbing, and for older models, they certainly are. The cost of getting a GPT-4 quality level answer today is a tiny fraction of what it was 2 years ago. But there is a catch in that math. Yes, the old quality gets cheap, but the problem is no one stays on the old quality. Users keep climbing to whatever is the newest, smartest model. And that frontier tier is exactly where the costs are the highest, the margins are the thinnest, and the labs have the strongest reason to charge more. The cheap stuff gets cheaper, and the good stuff gets more expensive, and the average user moves with the good stuff. So when you put all of these things together, the picture's pretty clear. The labs are losing money on heavy users, their CEOs are openly saying it, the investors want their money back, the IPOs are coming in the next 18 months, XAI bleeding $1 billion, Gemini quietly trimming the limit, big enterprise companies like Uber and Microsoft pulling licenses away because the bills are too high, and the supply of new compute might get capped because of the data center bans. The most likely outcome here is a split. Basic everyday tasks get pushed onto small cheap models and stay close to free. The smart frontier stuff, the deep reasoning, the agents that do work for you, that will probably get a lot more expensive. The $20 all-you-can-eat plan probably doesn't vanish overnight, it just slowly shrinks, and you start to notice that the new model is only available on a higher tier. You start to notice that your usage limit dropped. You start to notice that the agent feature you wanted is metered by tokens instead of included in the flat price, and the frog gets boiled gently. So we've already seen that these CEOs have already admitted that this is probably the next step, moving towards usage-based pricing instead of unlimited access. And that is the real headline. The flat, simple $20 a month subscription was just a marketing tool to get you in the door. The future has a meter that runs while you sleep and while your agent does research, while your code editor calls the model in the background, and the people who locked their workflow around AI in the cheap years are the same people who will be holding the bill in the expensive ones.